Hello to the Tuesday meeting, 11th, 4th of November. Yeah, we have our usual agenda, no working group updates today. And we can start with reviewing the action items from last week. So we had one about the PCAP RFC. I just make the people in the Diego Slack channel that there is the RFC and Max is looking for feedback. I didn't see any comments on the RFC. Yeah, but this was the task, the action item. For the next two, we have Chris, Chris Quark. He's not yet on the call. We'll check about CLA discussions. I don't recall what is this about. We'll check about the CLA discussion. And at the end, we had a meeting after the Tuesday meeting to talk about cuts, committed usage discount on GCP. So we decided to buy some resource-based and some flex spend base. I put the details into the Slack channel we have about cost savings. I think we committed to for around 170 virtual CPUs for the US Central 1 region and 500, I think 34 gigabyte of memory and $5 flex space spent on compute. We have to observe how this, what is the effect of this, and then if needed, we can buy additional cuts. Any questions? No? Okay, then we can proceed with the dashboard. Okay, this one, this is the automated working group reporting. Maybe we can convert this to a draft, Ruben, so that
Sure.
and people can use this, and if we find this useful, then yeah, we can. Okay. Now RFCs. Actually, we should have another PR here. The inactive users, maybe the board didn't sync. Anyway, we have to wait on that 2 weeks. The first two RFCs, I didn't see any update. Also, I forgot to ask Pascal. Yeah, we have to check on those. And the third one is about the PCAP integration for application developers. So we have also Max here in the call.
Yes, hi.
It's basically, I think, about this last two, the last two comments.
Yeah, so it's really mostly about the flag that was more or less requested, or that was kind of an ongoing point of discussion, like how do you manage access to that feature? And my initial assumption, I guess, was that it's just the SSH access. So when you get SSH access to the container, that kind of implies that you can then run binaries, and you can then also perform stuff like TCP dump, because running SSH in the container or SSHing into the container is, I would say, already a pretty privileged action. And for example, Envoy exposes admin controls in the container without any authentication. So you can do already quite a lot if you're in the container running as a regular VCAP user. So I guess for the most part, you're not really gaining anything by this. You're just making it more convenient to capture traffic.
Yeah, I mean, you also said that the net admin capabilities, they are no longer needed, right? I think that was a huge change already.
Yeah. So this will be one of the parts that we would have to test. Right now, the container does not have capnet admin. Thomas pointed that out to me, and so we wouldn't even be able to give it out within the container. So it wouldn't have worked anyways. So the capability, but yeah, from the small testing I did, it seems like we actually don't need it. So I dropped it.
I might have misunderstood, but I thought that the idea was that there were certain binaries that would have additional capabilities beyond what the container would get.
No, so the way this works is it's kind of cascading down. So you give the container
Okay.
a certain set of capabilities, and it includes, for example, catnet raw and some other
Mhm.
stuff. And the user inside the container is an unprivileged user, so I'm not sure if it has any capabilities at all. But we then give it capabilities that the container has, but the user does not have, which
I see.
is catnet raw. But we can't give it any capabilities, at least I think so, that are not already given to the container anyways. So
Okay, then I
admin,
might
which
then I must then I misunderstood that part. I was not sure on that one, but that makes things a lot easier, right? If we're not introducing any additional capability or permissions on the container, then I think it's fine, right? Because then the security posture stays the same, basically.
depends on your viewpoint. So from an operator viewpoint, yes, the container itself doesn't gain anything or loses anything.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you run Docker containers, it doesn't really matter as an operator. But from a user or app developer perspective, it does change a little bit. So you now have a convenient tool to capture traffic in plain text. Again, I think it's possible to do today already. It's just very cumbersome.
Mm-hmm.
And this might change the perceived security posture of some people. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, if you're relying on that, I don't know. Like that's security, true obscurity, I guess. Right?
Yes.
You can already SSH in, download a binary into there, right, and use that to capture anything you want. If the cap,
Well, no, because the CapNet raw you don't get. So you are unable to run
uh,
a
I
dump.
see, because the user you get when you SSH doesn't
Mhm.
have the permissions.
But still, I haven't tried it out end to end, but I'm pretty sure that there are means to get access to the plaintext traffic in the current setup
Mm-hmm.
because we are exposing the Envoy admin socket.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
And regarding the other discussion to have the binary only so on dynamically edit, I think this.
It's in the first response that I wrote. So the main issue here is that it's coming via a Bosch package that's just blindly copied in. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to now conditionally copy in certain files only, that would be new functionality that doesn't exist today.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not familiar with the Diego release itself beyond the basics, as in if I put something into the packaging and the lifecycle package, then it will appear in the container. So I would very much appreciate feedback from Diego whether this is something that could be done easily or not. Which is also why I think Beyhan reached out.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so far.
Yeah, like I raised that more as an like mitigation. Like if we're changing the security posture or like the attack surface, right,
Mhm.
then it must be opt-in, right?
Yeah.
But if that's not the case, then I think it's fine. Then it's not like a requirement, I would say, to have it be optional. I mean, like then it's fine that it basically if you have SSH capabilities, you will also be able to use this tool.
Yeah. So, and again, we have Docker apps enabled. So for us, this really does change nothing, pretty much. If you want the access of that in the container, you just run a Docker app, specify user 0, done. You get all the capabilities that you can get. For foundations where this is not enabled, again, there are some changes in behavior, but yeah.
And this will be controlled with the Docker active inactive flag, so to say. No extra flag to activate.
How is this related to Docker?
To
SSH one.
SSH,
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So,
No, you were just checking if we were listening.
yeah. You are so in the dark mode. I was.
Yeah.
You are sleeping and just pretending.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
it Ruben
I
or
changed.
Rubion?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are there any other questions when Max is here about this RFC?
No, I would also be fine with piggyback on the SSH flag. That's good enough, I would say.
In that case, I would also ask for this to be moved to the final comment period.
Yeah.
And again, this is subject to testing. It might be that we encounter some roadblocks that were previously not obvious and that then require some changes to things that we outline in the RFC, but that's just natural.
Okay. Any objections to start the final comment period?
Fine by me.
No.
I will just write a comment that we are starting. Maybe Max can just add a little summary what we discussed, or should we just say?
Crazy the difference between being on a page with like a white background and something that's in dark mode. Like the difference. On my camera, it's like fun.
Something like this, so people
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining and discussing. With this, we have all the RFCs.
I'll be stepping out then. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, the rest, I didn't have time to check on the status, but I don't think we have any finished yet. The issues, yeah, this one is with Chris Clark. I think he's traveling this week. Then we can go to any other business. So we had a discussion, short discussion last week during the Tuesday meeting about PRs opens for the tutorials, cloud-founded tutorials. And this started actually another discussion in the CF Docs channel, which is linked here. Looks like people are interested. We have 4 people interested to contribute to the tutorials and yeah, keep them up to date. And I suggested the idea to maybe integrate them into CF Docs, into the Docs working group, and it joined also today, maybe. Most probably about this discussion. Hi, Anita.
Yeah, I don't have any objection to putting them into the docs. That's the easy part. The hard part is maintaining them, because they're worse than useless if in a couple of years they don't work anymore at all. So if we put them in, we have to, just like you said in the chat, we have to have commitment from somebody to maintain them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what is if there we require a legal part to somehow integrate them into the CFF. My understanding is that they, IP-wise, they belong to the foundation. They are now in a different GitHub organization. One task is to clean up this organization, because there are also some repositories which are outdated, to archive them and just decide which one makes sense to keep. And the other discussion topic should be whether we move the repositories to the Cloud Foundry or could keep this one. From the automation perspective, it should be fine so that stay here, right? We extended the automation to support multiple organizations.
Have we started
Yes.
using that already?
No, not really. The concourse folks wanted to try, but they never came up with some example PR. But if we have a concrete use case, we can try it out.
Yeah. And it also having some tutorials in our docs working group if people are interested to maintain those.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's only the docs we have control over. As I said, if the tutorials don't work for one reason or another, then I'll get complaints and I won't be able to fix them.
Yeah,
It's easy. If there's complaints, you always say PRs are welcome, right? And the
That's
working group
true.
then reviews those PRs. That's all like that this means.
Yeah,
Like this is all about the
true
intention of
enough.
reviewing PRs with regards to this content, right? I think that
Yeah.
should be fine.
Yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, I mean, all I would do probably is just add a whole new section to the docs with that would basically not be much more than links to the tutorials to start, and then if people wanted to add instructions, that would be good. But that's where we would start, I would think.
I think we have similar situation in different working groups, like in a working group where I am involved in Ruben Foundation or infrastructure working group. We have areas where we are not
I guess I already do that really. If I don't think, if I'm not sure a change in the docs is good, I bring in approvers.
Yeah,
So I guess that's about the same.
yeah. Okay, then from TLC perspective, we are fine. Anita, from your perspective, you are also fine, to my understanding, to have a new area in the docs working group.
Yeah, I think so. I think it should be all right.
Then I think we need to wait for Chris to ask about any, from the foundation perspective, whether it's something doesn't make sense here. Steve mentioned that he's also fine if other people want. Steve is maintaining currently the tutorials. Okay, then I will discuss this with Chris, and then we can decide what are the next steps here. And the other topic is in the CLI, CFCLI, there is blocking issue for the plugins. That's why I decided to ask people whether they see a need to have a meeting and discuss the topic. There was interest to have a meeting, and there was also a voting which date makes sense. So the decision is on 6th of November, 5 p.m. Central European Time. So I asked Ram to generate a Zoom meeting for that. He's offline yet, but most probably in the tomorrow I have that one. Yeah, 7 people showed interest to participate in the meeting, and basically the idea is to discuss the blocking issue to import the Go project into the plugins, the latest one, version 8, and how to prove any plans how we can refactor the plugin framework for the future. So basically, those 2 topics we plan to discuss in the meeting. Just for your information, in case you're interested to join. Any other topic you want to discuss? Or any feedback on this? No. Okay, then we are done for today. No other topics. I don't hear anything.
I have a fun show and tell. I've been working on a project called Instant Bosch. I have created an image builder that can take a deployment manifest, create an OCI image with pre-rendered, no, not templates. Templates are not rendered, but only the packages, the compiled packages are in there, and the templates are in unrendered form. I've created a separate entry point binary, and then I can create a Bosch director in 10 seconds on Docker locally. With Docker C. So you can basically get you pull a single image, and then you have a Bosch light on Docker in 10 seconds. So that, like, I'm skipping Monet because I don't know, I could, right? I don't have to keep compatible with things. I just want to see how fast this thing can go. So apparently, if you start, like, I'm not using UAA and CredUp because that's Java, right? So that starts a bit slower. So I haven't added those back. But yeah, like all in all, within 10 seconds, all the processes of the Bosch director are running.
So now another 10 seconds for CF, and then we can.
So that's the idea, right? So this whole thing, the builder project, I can basically that would be next, looking at creating a single image with most of the CF components in there, so that before integration testing stuff, right, we could have a single container that contains most of the components. So nothing to publish yet. I'm still iterating on it, but it's starting to work, so it's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I think this could be an enabler for the CF project.
Yeah, that was the idea, right? Like people say, yeah, it's really hard to get started with Bosch. I mean, this is another attempt at trying to solve that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had many, I know, but so far, I think this is the fastest one yet.
And looking forward to see some updates on that. Good. Is there anything else? Then have a nice day, evening, morning. Take care. See you next time.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
Take care, folks.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.